that we need to adopt the slogan "Care, not custody" as an absolute principle in terms of our social policy. People with mental health problems don't belong in our prisons, and yet we have a scenario where successive research has shown that people with a mental illness are greatly overrepresented in our prison population. Almost 8% of male remand prisoners have a current or recent psychotic symptoms, way out of kilter with the rest of the population. And the evidence shows that large numbers of these people could have been accommodated in a local mental health facility if the correct policies were in place. We know from the research done that large numbers of mentally ill prisoners have been in touch with social services as children. Many of them were in touch with the juvenile system. Many of the women were victims of abuse. So early intervention and assistance as an alternative to imprisonment has got to be looked at, and we are far out of kilter in that regard. Now, we have one specialist forensic mental health facility. I know Minister Lynch has previously pledged to deal with regional ones to take that people out of the criminal justice system, but it's not happening and it's not working. And again, as the other deputies have said, it is a question finally of resources. And I think when people do end up in prison, our prisons are not equipped to deal with what are in essence health problems, and it is a very serious problem. Deputies in this House met the family of a young man from Derry who was on suicide watch in Maghaberry less than 4 weeks ago, who ended up firstly cutting his throat, then cutting his testicles, and then gouging his eyes out and blinding himself on the third night in a prison where he was supposedly being watched. And too often prisoners' behaviour is treated as a punishment or not understood for what it is, and they don't get the care and attention. So I would appeal, when we look at the issue of mental health, to say that people with mental health issues do not belong in prison, and we absolutely need to address this issue.
Thank you, Deputy.